that we need to continue to stand strong to defend everybody's rights and freedoms.
Can somebody, anybody, I beg of you, please help me round this square peg? I'm really confused on what the heck the Liberal Party of Canada is doing. I'm so very confused. Well, I'm sure all of us are. Well, we all know what they're doing, but I'm trying to understand something here. Let's see if maybe one of you can help me understand it properly. Maybe, I don't know. But a couple weeks ago, Carney was on some news, I think it was CTV in the Maritimes somewhere. And he was talking about, he's going to remove the carbon tax, He was going to put this large industrial carbon tax on large producers or whatever. Right? Yeah. And then he turned around and he says, yeah. And then we're going to incentivize people to buy more efficient stuff and, buy better fridges and such. And the very next question, he immediately went from telling people to buy more fridges. The very next question, he said that, I think he was asked, well, won't that just trickle down to the consumer if you just put it in industrial tax? And he said, well, no, we're going to create a cap. Basically, he described a cap and trade system. So that polluters have to buy these credits or whatever he's talking about on the open market or whatever. But anyway, I took it as it was some sort of fancy mumbo jumbo about cap and trade. That's what I took it as. I don't know what you took it as, but that's what I took it as. But then he asked the interviewer, well, this is like big industrial stuff, like, steel makers. How much steel do you use right now? And I'm thinking to myself immediately, I was like, well, didn't you just tell consumers to buy a whole bunch of fridges? What's your fridge made out of? Has anybody ever, throughout history, ever stuck their child's first grade report card somewhere in the kitchen? Where would that be? How did they stick it? Interesting question. Anyway, okay. Then, all of a sudden, we're getting tariffed 10% immediately on all steel and aluminum from Canada into the US. And now they're talking about, okay, well, we're going to have to tariff back or whatever. I'm not even exactly sure what they're doing about the steel right now. I think they're just whining and moaning. And they're saying they're going to tariff back and they're going to give that money back to the steel companies. Okay, keep that in mind for a bit, because that's not really where I'm going right at the moment. But we're going to circle back to that. Or I will try to remember to circle back to it. And then, time passes and, people are all semi-quiet about, steel and aluminum. Semi-quiet. I say semi. We're still talking about it, but we're not. It's not, oh my God, we're going to get a tariff. Oh my God. Brr, brr, brr. We're calming down about it. Anyway, so. Today, I just heard. I'm not sure when he announced this, but I just heard. Mr. our infamous child minister,
Okay. You know, the guy that's resigning to install Carney to be leader. The guy that, you know, has been advised by Carney, the guy that's going to replacing him, that he's arranged to replace him. That guy. Okay. You know, our infamous child minister right now, Mr. Trudeau, come out and made a huge announcement. And he says, oh, we're going to build fast rail across from Quebec to Ontario. A high-speed rail system. I think he pledged $16 billion to this. $16 billion. Question. One question. Just one. What are rails made of? I think they make them out of steel. So, government contracts need to go out to open source bidding selection, right? Isn't that correct? I do believe that's the way it has to occur. So I'm curious if there's going to be an advantage given to Canadian steel. Because if not, well, whose steel are we going to be using to build this new $16 billion high-speed rail thing? What country is going to benefit from the amount of steel we're going to use to create this brand new high-speed rail corridor in Canada, if the cheapest steel on the market will be from China? Who can outbid who? We're going to be tariffing our own steel. We're tariffing the U.S.'s steel. Or sorry, the U.S. is tariffing our steel. We're tariffing the U.S.'s steel. Okay. Carney's talking about bringing in even bigger and bolder cap and trade system for high energy or high polluting industries to offset their emissions or to pay for their emissions, like steel companies. And well, how much steel do you use today? Yeah, what's my phone made of, by the way? I wonder what's in my phone. Anyway, oh, right, there's a magnet on the backside, so I can attach it to steel items. So when I find something steel, I'll let you know. This is so fucking dumb. It's so dumb. Can somebody help me round this circle? Round this square peg, because it is really baffling my brain right now. I'm telling you, I am completely confused here. So our steel is going to be the most expensive steel, or one of the most expensive steels. Our industry is about to be devastated. So, okay, let's put some benefit of the doubt in this. Let's say, for argument's sake, this is actually to help us produce our, to help our steel industry by, this is our way of, you know, generating income for them while they transition to new markets, yada, yada, yada. We'll say, cool. That sounds like a fantastic idea. Question. Isn't the retaliatory tariffs, oh cool, look at these. I wonder if I can get those cleaned up. Soak them in some oil. There's two of them. That's actually kind of cool. Soak them in some oil. Take the wire brush to them. Maybe I got myself a couple of C-clamps. Kind of cool. Anyway, sorry, distracted. Okay.
So we're going to carbon tax the steel industry, and they could be using this money to pay back the steel industry, right? But so that the steel industry can afford to transition to another market. Whatever, you know, ride out the tariffs, whatever the excuse is. We're going to supplement the steel industry. Maybe that's what this project's about. Okay? But there's a problem in that. You see, the Canadian people have already decided that we are going to already supplement them by tariffing back the Americans. We're not making the Canadian people pay back the money to transition to a new market. That's what our retaliatory tariff is for. And if that's what the retaliatory tariff is for, why does the Canadian people have to pay another $16 billion, which is just the quoted price at this time? We all know what government contracts actually cost. It's whatever they say, 3 times that, and 5 times as long. Anyway, I might be underestimating a little bit. A little give and take. More take than give. Oh God, I got myself distracted. So, if the tariffs were to supplement the steel industry, why are Canadian taxpayers supposed to also supplement the Canadian thing? But they're not. You see, under all our government contracts rules, and especially these days, I know they haven't followed these rules. Let's be real. But under our rules, the cheapest steel companies that could bid on these projects are all foreign nations. Like China steel. You know, the steel Trump is worried about. Welcome to the Fringe. Welcome to the Fringe.